What's going on, everybody? Happy 2021. We are ecstatic to have you back with us, or for the first time joining us here on the Leadership Lean In podcast. We are leaning in to the subject of leadership just to get a little bit better. I hope you had a fantastic break. We around these parts took a fantastic break, and we are now back and ready to engage this year with our Leadership Lean In community. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for posting about it. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for being a part of the process and the journey we are going to provide in 2021. Great content for you. Let me give you the commitment and the rundown of what we're going to do this year. We're going to twice a month, 2 episodes a month, and we're going to do it in 3 different seasons this year: January, February, March, season 1. We're going to take April off, May, June, July, season number 2, take August off, and then September, October, and November, we'll wrap up season number 3. This year, we're committing. We have so many guests joining us in 2021. So let me just give you my commitment to you. I'm going to bring my very best to the table. Some will be just teachings. Other times we're going to have great guests. We've got a whole plan. We've got a whole list. We're in contact. We're going to have some of the best leadership minds, thinkers, communicators in the world. We're going to grow together in 2021. I know this is a time, first month of the year, you're probably making your goals and your resolutions. Can I just encourage you? 2021, this year, is more about who you are becoming than what you are doing. Make a greater commitment and a greater emphasis on your list of the kind of person you want to be more than the accomplishments you want to make, okay? So let's just start there. So here we go. By the way, also subscribe to our leadership email. We'll be doing that along the same schedule every other week. And so we're going to provide notes and content there as well. Okay, I'm jumping right in. Here we go. First episode, 2021. Are you ready to do this? I can hear you. I can hear you screaming with your pen and your paper, and you're at your plasma. You're in your kitchen. You're in your room right now. You're ready to go. Okay. You're on a run right now. You can do this. You can do this. Keep going. Keep going. One foot in front of another. Okay. I want to talk today. What it takes to build something great. I want to convince you today that you are building a great name, a great legacy, and a great future. What's in front of you is better than what's behind you. The best is yet to come. And what you're building, I promise you this, you are building something that is so massive, something so impactful that you don't even believe it. If somebody whispered in your ear right now who you are and what you're about to do, you wouldn't even believe them, because that's how great the plan is on your life. So I just want to give you a heads up. Jesus talked about this, the greatest leader of all time. He talked about counting the cost. If we're going to build a great house, how much is this thing going to cost? I got a friend that texted me yesterday. He said, I'm moving from LA out to the IE. In our parts, that's called Inland Empire. We're building a brand new house that's going to have this many bedrooms and this many bathrooms and this many square footage, all things that are completely unrealistic in LA, but are totally realistic in the Inland Empire. And he's counting the cost. When you're building your life, before you start the mountain you're about to climb in 2021, let's just count the cost of what it's going to require. I'll give you 6 things in the first episode this year. Number 1, it's going to require a pace that will last a long time. Our hope for you is that you're not around for 5 years or 10 years or even 20 years, but you are around for the long haul. You are in it till the end. You are starting with the end in mind. So my question to you is, are you running at a pace that is sustainable? Are you living in the rhythm of grace? I heard someone say the pace of grace. What is the pace that is a perfect grace, a sweet spot for your family, for your future, for what you're building, what's in your hand? I want to encourage you to run not too fast and definitely not too slow, but in the perfect pace. Remember, money, if you don't tell it where to go, money is like water. If you don't give it barriers, it just goes wherever it wants. Time, if you don't give it barriers, it just goes wherever it wants. You've got to set parameters, boundaries, timestamps on your schedule. You need to live within a weekly rhythm and a weekly pace. I just love God. God's like, I'm going to work 6 days. 7th day is a day of rest. I don't know a leader that rests too much. Most leaders work too hard. They go too fast. They're trying to climb. They're trying to build. That's fine. I love that you got drive. You're listening to this podcast because you are an inspired, driven leader. But we need you around for the long haul. So lead this year at a pace that is sustainable. Number 2, an obsession with improvement. You building what's on your life, it will require of you to be obsessed with improvement, not perfection. There is no perfect leader. There is no perfect system. There is no perfect business. There's mistakes all over the place. Why? Because we're all human, and there's the element of human error, and we're all learning. We're all trying to grow. I do not want you to be obsessed with perfection. If you're a perfectionist, that means you are going to be mean, cruel to yourself and mean, cruel to others because your demand on yourself is too high. It is not reasonable. You need to have not an obsession with perfection, but an obsession with improvement. We do a thing within our organization. Every Monday by noon, every staff member turns in a SWOT from church: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I got to be honest. I don't really live in the strengths, and the opportunities are awesome. The threats I'm interested in, but I kind of camp out in the weaknesses because that is where I learn, and that is where I see opportunities for improvement. Be obsessed with just making little adjustments. If you're a leader today and you need to make 180 improvements, that's a big degree of change. Don't be in the situation where it's like, if we make this change, it's going to change everything. Why did you get yourself in a position where you're making decisions that change everything? No. Get yourself in a place where you're just making, this is going to change this thing. This is going to change this habit. This is going to change this communication. This is going to change this spending. Just make little tweaks and little adjustments all year long. Number 3, a commitment to address what needs to be addressed. If you're going to build something great, you have to make a commitment now. I will address the things that need to be addressed. Like we use imagery in leadership, like eggshells, the elephant in the middle of the room. One of my favorite leaders is Patrick Lencioni. I mean, just death by meeting. What about the 5 dysfunctions of a team? The advantage. I mean, the list goes on. One of the most prolific communicators and authors of leadership. One of my favorite truths that he gives is that a team cannot excel without confrontation. You have to confront the person or the issue together, because if you just ignore it, remember, you always make the bed that you lie in. And what you are willing to tolerate, that means you are willing to live with. So if you're going to build something great, that means we got to address what needs to be addressed. If it's a conversation that's worth having, it's a conversation that needs to happen. So we've got to just address these things. It's not personal. We're building something. We're going somewhere. Maybe it's a character flaw within me I got to address, or a staff member or a volunteer that needs to be addressed. It's always worth it to have the conversation. I don't know anybody that's like, man, I'm so glad that we let this little snare in the carpet, just stay there. And then it developed this huge rip. And now we have this eyesore in our carpet. No, most people go, man, I wish we would have just nipped that thing in the bud and just got it before it just unraveled and got out of control. Now we've got this eyesore. Don't be a leader that is willing to tolerate things that are going to bring an eyesore to your team or organization. Number 4, a sacrifice today for what you want tomorrow. It's going to require of you a sacrifice today for what you want tomorrow. I want to convince you. Invest the next 10 years. Invest the next 15 years into your future. Just make sacrifices today for what you want to enjoy tomorrow. I saw a great post by the great Andy Mineo, one of the greatest rappers, greatest guys. I love Andy Mineo. He's unbelievable and a great basketball player, by the way. He was talking about, he posted on Instagram, and he got me, sliding through. And he was talking about an opportunity. He came into some money, and he goes, I could have gone and bought sneakers or whatever, clothes. I sacrificed all that to buy this property, buy this house. I remodeled it with my wife, and he showed the kitchen before and the kitchen after and the bedrooms and all that. And he talked about making this sacrifice, and now look at what they can enjoy. They can enjoy more equity and a greater sale and a greater value, a greater income for their home. I want to convince you to make a greater sacrifice today for what you want to do tomorrow. Most of leadership is going, you know what? I'm okay with doing the things I have to do because I know it will free me up to do the things I want to do. Most leaders are not willing to give up what they want to do. They only focus on that, and they neglect the things they have to do. It's like my kids with desserts, okay? If you don't eat your carrots and your celery, you're not getting the cookie or the brownie. Leadership is going, you know what? I'm sacrificing today for what I want to have tomorrow. I'm willing to do the things I don't want to do so that I'm freed up to do the things I want to do. If you're going to build something great, you're going to be involved with things, you know what? I didn't want to go to all those meetings. I didn't want to return all those emails. I didn't want to get up early in the morning. I didn't want to read books and always be consumed with growth. I didn't want it, but you know what? I see a greater tomorrow, so I'm willing to sacrifice today for what I'm building in my future. Number 5, a protection of what and who you value. A protection is going to require of you a great protection of what and who you value. What you value is not always the same as who you value. There are people that you value in your life. Protect them at all costs. Protect them from offense. Protect them from knowing things that maybe they can't understand in that certain time period of their life of growth and maturation. Protection. Aren't you grateful that you had parents that protected you from their fighting, protected you from going through the budget and the financial P&Ls? Aren't you grateful for being protected? Great leaders are great protectors. Protect what you love and who you love. What I love, for me, I love Zoe Church. I love it with all my heart. And so I protect our staff. I protect our volunteers. I protect our platform. I don't just let anybody come in and preach or anybody just come up and talk. I got to protect what we're building together. I protect the finances and make sure that it goes to helping people, serving people, and advancing the gospel. I protect what and who. I protect my nuggets. I protect my wife. I protect the people that are valuable in my life. You've got to protect what you love. How does that play out? Well, I'm not going to prove my loyalty in your presence. I'm going to prove my loyalty in your absence. So I'm going to protect our relationship more when we're apart than when we're together. When we're together, I pray you feel protection and I hope that you feel safe. But I'll tell you, you are safe. When I'm not in your presence, I refuse to gossip, slander, or misspeak about your character and your future. If I can't say it to you, why would I say it about you? That is protecting what you love and who you love. Make it a value for you. In the 6th and the final one, man, we're off to a great start. Are you excited? 2021. I got to be honest, I'm on day 9 of a 21-day fast, and I am right now in week 2 of my fast. I'm going all liquids. It's a little bit of a doozy. I got to be honest. I didn't anticipate it, but nevertheless, we're having fun. Okay, last one. Number 6 today. A love for the journey. This gets me excited. We just wrapped up 2020. We come to the end of the year. We wrap up all of our numbers, our stats, how we did, finances, we go through all the stats. And then I took a break. My family and I got invited to go preach in Hawaii. Anytime you get invited to go preach in Hawaii, it is an automatic yes. It turns into a family vacation. So we got away in Hawaii. I got off my phone for over a week and unplugged. And I come back to LA and I get ready to I gather myself to climb this mountain again. Now, as I come into 2021, here's what I'm not consumed with. I am not obsessed with the numbers. I got to beat these social media numbers or YouTube numbers or, fill in the blank, connect group numbers, whatever, all the numbers we measure. It is not a numbers game that you are playing. You are in a journey. Enjoy not the results, enjoy the process. The process is where all the pain and the pleasure lives. Because a number doesn't define you. The journey is where the thrill is. The journey is the joy. The work is the fulfilling thing. And so if you're going to build something great, it will not be great by statistics. It will be great by impact. It will be great by influence. It will be great by people's stories of life change. You can't measure a life that is changed. So please hear me. Do not give yourself to stats. Give yourself to people. People matter the most. Impact, life change. And so enjoy that process. You are becoming who you're supposed to become so you can do what you're supposed to do, but never neglect the becoming so you can get busy with the doing. The doing pales in comparison to the becoming. So enjoy your year as you become who you're supposed to become. I pray, I believe you're building something great. Embrace the process and love the journey. I love you. I'll see you not next week, but in 2 weeks. Leadership Leaning. We out.